Okay, fine. I'm so excited. Okay, right, fine. Okay, right. Take two, guys. This is how you go live. Not everything runs as smoothly. So I'd like to say a big thank you and welcome for joining me here on Facebook, on Zoom, and on any other platform you're seeing me. Today marks a really special day because I'm announcing in this epic summit a world record attempt that I'm attempting this year and a few others that are coming up in the subsequent years. And why I started this summit in the first place was I wanted to ask some people's advice. I wanted to ask how I could prepare for what's coming up. And don't worry, I'll be sharing that shortly. And thought, instead of me just having these conversations behind closed doors on my phone or meeting over a coffee when I'm allowed out, because we're currently still in lockdown, I thought, why not bring them to you? Why not get these world leaders, these game changers from America, from the United States, from South Africa, from around the world to dial in and speak with you about what was their inspiration, what helped them start from an ordinary life and step up into doing extraordinary things. Now, some of these stories, I have to say, they're tear jerkers. These people have overcome such adversity and such odds, and they're still hugely positive and passionate about, what positivity and what greatness they can do in their life. So I'm absolutely hugely excited for this 10-hour epic summit. Now, if you are interested in being for the entire duration, you're more than welcome. I have built in 2 little breaks, one at around midday and the other one around 3 p.m. because I do need to refuel and make sure that I'm looking after my health and well-being throughout this 10-hour process. But if you want to dip in and out, you're more than welcome. I'm not going anywhere. My guests will be dialing in every 30 minutes with someone new, someone inspirational to share their story and also impart words of wisdom. So back to why I started this summit in the first place. Well, it happened a few years ago. I was chatting with a friend who had just recently completed one of the hardest cycle races in the world called the Race Across America. And he said, jokingly maybe, Kate, you should really think about doing this. Now, these silly little sentences to most might be dismissed, but for me, for whatever reason, that little sentence stuck with me. And I started to research what this Race Across America was. And in short, it is one of the hardest cycle races in the world. And just to give you some stats, if I can find them, it covers 3,000 miles, which is approximately 4,800 kilometers across 12 states in the USA. And it includes climbing, so vertical altitude climbing differences of 175,000 feet. That's 53 kilometers vertical difference from the bottom to the top. So we cover, the Rocky Mountains in Colorado. And, you can do it as a team, you can do it solo, you can do it as a team of 8, 4 or 2. And the solo race intrigued me. How on earth could one person accomplish this by themselves? And that's what really started my interest in stepping away from triathlon and the more disciplined one-day events into looking at these multi-day ultra endurance challenges. But I am a triathlete at heart. I do love the other disciplines. I love swimming and I also love running and getting out in nature. Was there any way that I could bolt on to RAAM, as it's called, the Race Across America, to make it a little bit more Kate? And again, speaking to some other friends, more and more ideas started to fall or be surrounded by me. And by the end of it, I had created what we will call for the moment, though I do want your help in finding a better name, an ultimate triathlon. So it is cycling across America of 3,100 miles, followed by one of the toughest ocean swim or channel swims in the world from England to France, which is half a marathon, 21 miles. Followed by summiting the highest peak in the world, Everest. And each one of these has their own timeframes. So the race across America always happens in June. The swimming period for crossing the channel, because it's one of the trickiest channel swims, and to do it officially, we've got to do it in our without wetsuits, so only wearing goggles, a bathing cap, and a one piece, so a bathing costume, but no arms or legs covered. And just to let you know, the temperature can range from 15 degrees centigrade to a whopping 18 degrees centigrade. So that's 59 degrees Fahrenheit up to 64 degrees Fahrenheit. And we've got to do that in just our bathing costumes. And that usually happens from end of June to the end of September. And it's interesting, I was looking at, the fastest swim someone's ever done that is 7 hours. So they were immersed in that water for 7 hours, and that was the fastest. But then also the slowest was 27 hours. So there's a possibility of being in that water for 27 hours. I mean, I'm not aiming to be that slow, but still I've got to prepare myself psychologically to be in that cold water. And so, as I said, the race across America is in June. The swim across the channel will be around the end of June up until late September. I'll push it to the end as much as possible. And to climb Everest, the season is in April and early May. This is to avoid avalanches and be in the best position for the environment, for the weather to not impact the climbing. And so a few months after swimming or exiting the water in France, I'll be slow traveling, which is overland, heading to Nepal, where I'll be based there for a few months and training to summit the amazing mountain called Everest. So without knowing how I'm going to do this, like Kate, like I usually do, I publicly announced this epic adventure. And the more I researched it, the more I realized that not many people have even attempted a lot of these. I think only 12 males in the whole wide world have done the peak to the pond, swum the channel, and also summited Everest. But there's only one person in the whole wide world who's actually done all three. And it wasn't in RAAM, the race across America, it was cycling around America. And his name's Rob Lee. So I am going to be reaching out to him in a few weeks' time because he's quite a secret guy. But it means only one person in the world has attempted this ultimate triathlon before. And so why on earth do I want to be something or do something that no one else has done before? Because each one of these disciplines could potentially kill me. The race across America involves 3,000 miles of cycling. Most people finish it as a solo from 7 days, which is the fastest, up until 10 or 12 days. But sleep will be deprived. I'll be cycling around 20 hours every single day for 7 to 10 days. This then from the mountain climbing and also the flat plains of Kansas where temperatures can be really hot. I need to bulk out and get used to swimming in epically, or for me, immensely cold water. And then only a few months later, I'll be moving to almost the death zone. People who summit Everest have always said that there's certain areas where you can't stay where it's not humanly possible to stay for much longer. So I'm doing all of these three within 10-month period. And so when I started to actually realize what I've committed to, that's when I realized I need help. Even though this challenge is so low, I know that I don't know so much about what I've just embarked on. I also know there are people out there who've done elements of this or have skills that I don't have yet or can learn from them. And I started to reach out to these people. And a lot of them are joining us today in this summit. And I'll also be resharing them through my podcasts and also YouTube over the coming months. So it's going to be really exciting for me to learn how to step up. Because one of my passions in life is to make sure that whilst I'm striving in my life, whenever I feel that I'm plateauing, maybe in business, maybe not now, but maybe in my relationships in the past, if I step up in another area, by default, the rest of my life steps up too. So by me pushing myself to an extreme, to a world's first attempt, no female has ever attempted what I've just stated that I'm training for. By nature, all the other areas of my life will have to step up too. How will I find the time to run my business? How will I make sure that my nutrition and health and well-being are all supported too. What about my relationships? Who do I need to become to still nurture my friendships and my relationship with my partner? So all of my areas now, even though we're talking purely about the physical, they're all playing into a game too. So I'm loving this journey already, even though I've only started a few months ago, because I'm now reinventing my life. I'm reassessing what's important to me. I'm reanalyzing how I can be more efficient where otherwise I might have taken for granted certain areas. So it's a really exciting, albeit scary journey for me. And I'm so grateful a lot of you are here with me on this journey embarking too, because in those dark moments when I'm sitting on my bicycle for 4, 5, 6, 10 hours at a time, it's remembering that I'm not alone, remembering that someone out there cares why I'm doing this, that I'm inspiring someone to make a positive change. Then that's what keeps me going in the nights when I'm in pain, because I have no surprises that I will be crying from pain in a lot of this and questioning my own sanity, let alone why I'm doing this. So part of this summit was also to inspire myself, because in those dark moments, I need to have a reason bigger than myself. I don't just want to tick off the list, climbing Everest, tick, I've completed RAAM and swim the channel. I want to embody this into my sense of being. I want to bring honor to the path that I'm going along, as well as awareness in the spiritual sense of the evolution of humanity and the path that our predecessors created to allow us to be where we are now in our privileged state of traveling at freeness, of having our free time as well to do these sort of crazy adventures. So it's all very fresh and new to me, so we can learn together. But it's really exciting for me to start opening these conversations. Today is a great accelerant for that, but to keep my own evolution going forward as well. Something I'm really clear about is I am not the medal. I am not the world record or the world champion triathlete. I am Kate Strong first and foremost. The record or the challenge is part of the process of me becoming myself. And so I really want to use this journey as an introspection as much as the extrospection, if that's a word. If not, you get what I mean, hopefully. So this journey is also a way of us finding our inner journey, our inner purpose, our inner reason. Maybe for you, climbing Everest isn't something you want to do, and that's fine. What is your Everest in your life? What could be that one thing that lights your heart up, makes you smile every morning when you think about it, that allows you to strive for more, strive for something greater than just ourselves? This is what life is all about. It's about awakening up our conscious, connecting to people who are like-minded, positive, and strivers in their own lives. So I'm deeply humbled that I'm a part of this process as well. And maybe my story will inspire you, because I'm hoping your story will come back to me and I'll be inspired by it too.